Hey guys, I'm here in Panama City with Cindy Zimmerman and Ira Miller. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hi.
Or thanks for having me here, I should say. So, Cindy, you are the founder and CEO of TigoCTMs.
Yes.
Why don't we start there and explain what that is?
Okay, so I'm the founder of TigoCTM, and we are a ATM with cryptocurrency. It's technically a crypto teller machine franchise. So basically what we do is we manage software so that it includes, although you probably can't see the screen, Bitcoin and Dash, so that people can basically put fiat into the machine and then receive Bitcoin and Dash. And then from there you can do a whole sorts of, you have all of the crypto network
Nice.
at your disposal.
So basically, you go to a store here in Panama or somewhere in Latin America, you put cash in and you get Dash or Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Nice.
And it's the easiest on-ramp.
Yeah. So how are people using it? Like what's the typical person? Is it somebody sending money home or using it to pay bills or?
Most of our clients here are, well, Panama City, first of all, is a melting pot. So there's a lot of foreigners. So here there's a lot of people who are sending remittances home. And we have we have partners in other countries that they're sending money to. So Crypto Buyer is one of them, Bit is another, and that they send money to these other partners, and from there they can do things like exchange out in the local currency, or they could pay their bills with it, utility bills, phone bills, those type of bills, or they can buy goods and services there.
Perfect. So I know I was at a restaurant the other day and I was talking to a waitress that was talking about how she has trouble sending money home. She's from Venezuela, which is obviously having some major issues right now. And she was like just blown away by the idea of cryptocurrencies. Would you say that's kind of like your typical person, somebody that's trying to get money to Venezuela?
That is completely our typical person, because that's why we have partners in other countries that are on the ground that are able to handle the incoming.
So tell them about Crypto Buyer.
So Crypto Buyer is one for Venezuela specifically.
Yeah.
And so we have people here who are Venezuelan who want to send money home to their relatives to buy food, to buy medicine, to pay for typical utility bills. And so what they'll do is they will buy Bitcoin or Dash here, and then they can send it to Crypto Buyer, and Crypto Buyer can then in turn pay for their relatives' basic goods and services that they need to survive.
Yeah.
Or prepaid debit cards go into the bank accounts in Venezuela or Brazil.
Right.
So normal remittance
Right.
channels.
And so I guess for people that aren't experienced with the situation in Venezuela with the hyperinflation, like why is that such a big deal for somebody?
Well, typically with cryptocurrencies, they're actually more stable, despite the fact that a lot of people, specifically Americans, when they talk about the US dollar, they talk about how volatile cryptocurrencies are. But comparing to the Venezuelan bolivars, or bees, because I never pronounce it right, sorry, they basically are very stable because they have hyperinflation right now.
Yeah.
They have almost 1,000% year-over-year inflation. It's they can't steal your value fast enough in Venezuela.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like you have the official currency exchange rate, which is like what, a 90% difference from the real black market exchange rate.
Right.
And to make matters worse, in Venezuela they import all of their food. They don't typically grow very much, and so their food prices are astronomical.
I was just seeing yesterday, actually, like the government made it illegal to have lines outside of bakeries now. Like they're trying to put on this facade that people aren't starving, but like things are getting really desperate there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see a lot of that from the influx of Venezuelans coming to Panama, where there's a free market, coming to work or to try to start a business here, just because there's no opportunity.
Yeah.
Also, I think the government allowed 1 or 2 days where Venezuelans can go and cross over the Colombian border and buy whatever it is that they need. And it was a madhouse in Colombia.
Yeah, that's got, man, I feel for those people, and I'm like, that was my reason for coming here, was just to kind of investigate the situation and talk to people that are actually helping it, and you guys are on the forefront of that. What I guess is the vision for the CTMs, crypto teller machines?
Crypto teller machines.
Yeah, so what's the vision for this over, say, the next year or so?
So we would ultimately like to, we do want to send remittances. We want to continue doing that so that they can support their families in ways that they need to, but also with our partners in Venezuela, CryptoBuyer or Bit in Barbados, that we can start putting apps that will go directly from the machine, that they can put money in. They can start clicking on the apps and it will go directly to CryptoBuyer or Bit's services. And so it's basically sending cryptocurrencies in the back end, but the users don't actually see it. So it makes it easier.
So to them, maybe it feels like PayPal, like they're just putting money in and then somehow the money gets there.
It's more like they're paying for utilities in Venezuela here.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So one of, if we go with basic use cases with cryptocurrencies, people get very bogged down with a lot of, well, what is it? How do I spend it? But you know, you can get bogged down with the same kind of details about electricity. But how many people flip on a light switch and not think about the electricity, what's behind it at all?
Yeah.
So we're kind of wanting to do the same way, where it makes it very easy for people to use cryptocurrency, almost to the point where they don't even know they're using cryptocurrency.
I think that's so brilliant because you're right. I mean, whenever I explain blockchain tech or like, you know, even just the basics of Bitcoin, you see a lot of people's eyes just kind of glaze over.
Right.
They just want to know, I put money there and I want to pay this and it's done. And
Right.
I trust it and it's seamless and there's no, you know, big issues with it, and then they're happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And by the same theory, when you turn on a light switch, you just want to know that your light is going to go on.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go on, what do? You call an electrician, right?
Yeah.
You don't sit there and think, well, this is how it works, and this is what I need to do. And I mean, some people do know,
Yeah.
right? But not everybody needs to know.
Yeah. It's like in the States, like people don't understand the Federal Reserve and how money's created, but they use dollars every day. And I think that's just really good. That's where crypto needs to go, right? Is just make it really easy for the interface so that people out there can use it and not have to think too much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where do you guys see these going over the next year or so? How do you have a plan for where you want them, how many you want to have out there, and what the business model is for you guys?
Well, the advantage of doing franchising is that, well, first of all, running one of these is a cash business. So somebody physically has to be there. But ideally, we would like to get this in the wild as much as possible in as many locations as possible. And the idea of franchising means that this generates income, passive income, for someone else while having the advantage of having the network effect and having the use case of this is the on-ramp for sending remittances or buying or utilizing all kinds of utility bills and all of those things, but while somebody else is also making money off of it.
The off-ramp.
The off-ramp.
The on-ramp and the off-ramp.
Exactly.
Like so for anybody that's interested, like, man, that looks cool. I want to have one of these in my shop or my business or my office or something. Like, how would that look? They would buy a machine from you and then plug it in and then operate it themselves?
Yes. And we advise on placement, but ultimately that's up to the operator because they need to be able to remove the cash. Again, this is a physical location type business, so they need to be able to handle the cash.
So physical access.
Right, to have physical access. We also advise on how to set up accounts and what kind of paperwork they need. For certain places, we have lawyers involved, but because this is a worldwide business, we do not know lawyers in every single country, in every single jurisdiction.
Sure.
So that is something that they might have to look into their
Do your own due diligence.
right,
Yeah.
for regulations, and of course that varies from country to country. or in the United States from state to state, and Canada as well has their own. I'm trying to think. We also
manage all the servers and things.
We manage all of the software, all of the servers, and we basically help with all of the technical end.
Nice.
So this is basically for people who are very business savvy, very oriented in saying this is what a business is, serial entrepreneurs, somebody who wants a side business, who want to just generate passive income, but need help with technical aspects.
Beautiful. So what's kind of the evolution of this machine? Right now you've got cash in, you can send it. I know you guys had different plans. What plans do you have in the future for this?
So if I can jump in here, my organization, the GitGuild, develops the software for these machines. And we have a number of sponsors that each want certain features. So the first sponsor that came to us is Dash, which is a cryptocurrency that's really focused on user-friendliness and reaching the masses. So their next wallet evolution it has a lot of kind of PayPal-like features. So you can make a name for somebody rather than a long
crypto address. Yeah.
You can say send to Chris, and Chris Dunn will have your name registered on the network, right? So we think that Dash is a really good fit for our use cases of basic financial services. That's what these people in Venezuela or in Latin America need. They don't need to go to the moon on an Ethereum rocket ship.
Yeah.
That might go up on the launch pad, but hopefully not. So Dash is our first sponsor for evolving this CTM software, and hopefully with evolution we have some capabilities that were previously impossible, like loading up your account from one of these ATMs based on your name.
Yeah,
is one thing that we've been discussing. Tigo was our second CTM partner. So Tigo is already looking into other manufacturers and into some advanced hardware features like a bill recycler, and they've asked us to build software that would, for instance, manage the cash inventory of the machine, which would reduce the burden on an operator. They wouldn't have to go to the machine very often because it would know when it's full of cash and try to send some out to users, or know when it's really low on cash and try to get users to put more in.
Nice.
And finally, we have BIT, that's BITT, which is a Caribbean Bitcoin exchange, and they're based out of Barbados. And they also are setting up teller machines around their region. And BIT is very interesting because they got the Barbados Central Bank to help them issue Barbados dollars on the blockchain.
That's incredible, and that's, as far as I know, like the first time that's happened, right?
Yeah.
Getting a central bank to use the blockchain in that way.
It's definitely first of its kind.
Nice.
And BIT got a very large Series A investment soon after that, and they're using it to build out a complete network for the Caribbean, including teller machines.
Nice.
So hopefully within a year you'll be able to walk up to any of these machines, do some advanced things with BIT, maybe, or with Dash, maybe interface with your Evolution wallet in a more user-friendly way. You'll be able to send remittances and bill pay directly with our customer or with our partners like CryptoBuyer and BIT. And you'll also be able to just get Barbados dollars, sort of official legal tender in Barbados, but digitized out of the machines.
Beautiful, man. That's really exciting stuff. I love where that's headed.
Yeah.
Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about like GitGuild. So you alluded to the fact that you guys are providing the service and the infrastructure for this. Like, where do you see that headed in the future?
Well, the GitGuild is an open source development team, and ATM software or CTM software is just one of the things that we're focused on. In general, it's all about access ramps into cryptocurrencies. That's where most of our efforts so far have been. But we also built a trustless application framework, which could be used for building any sort of app. So we're really hoping that we can just get more small businesses around the world using tools like this, lower the barrier to entry for launching a small business and starting to receive payments, hopefully in cryptocurrencies, but also in cash interfaces or any way that is permissionless and easy and a low barrier to entry.
I love it. So for anybody that doesn't know Ira, I know both of you guys were early adopters, but you're also in the trading side of cryptos. Like, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I founded a company along with Erik Voorhees called Coinapult, which is a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency broker. So it buys and sells Bitcoin and other assets. And as part of doing this, we had to write a lot of trading software and to write clients and bots that would manage exposure on all of the different exchanges and assets. And this really was a lot of fun for me. It seems it's like a flow of information, a flow of money. They're kind of one and the same. Mm-hmm. So after selling Coinapult about a year and a half ago, I decided to develop some of these concepts of trading in open source software. And since then, we built something called a Trade Manager, which is really a full portal for accessing cryptocurrency exchanges with high-speed asynchronous trading capabilities on all the major cryptocurrency exchanges. We use this as the backend for these ATMs, as well as for a number of brokering type services that are partners with us. We also build an actual trade engine for an exchange, so if you want to run an exchange yourself, we have the matching engine and the order book software that makes that stuff possible.
Nice.
And we're working on user interfaces for a number of these things is the next step. So soon we'll have a reference GitGuild exchange, bid-ask exchange, reference GitGuild broker, and a number of other kind of trading or conversion type tools.
Very cool. So this is like institutional grade stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is like high. Yeah, so it'll be cool whenever you have the user-facing stuff. I'd like to do a catch-up and like show the world what you guys have.
Yeah, definitely. In particular, I think the Trading Manager would be really of interest to your viewers.
Yeah.
We're just integrating charts and 50 new indicators, including MACD and volume indicators and things like that.
Beautiful.
So soon, I think maybe within 6 months, we'll have that plugged into MetaTrader and some other really nice interfaces.
Nice. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for innovation on the trading side of the crypto space, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Nice. So where can people go to find out more about the CTMs?
So for Tigo, you can go to TigoCTM.com, or you can email me at cindy@TigoCTM.com. Do you want to talk about the GitGuild, where people can go?
Sure, yeah, we're on GitGuild.com, but that's actually just going up this week. So you can also find us on github.com/GitGuild.
Perfect. So we'll link all this up in the show notes too. But yeah, thanks for taking the time, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming to visit us.
Yeah.
Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited with what's happening here in Latin America, and I know we were talking about this off camera, but it seems like Latin America is where a lot of the innovation is happening, and the governments are receptive to it, like Barbados, and like what do you want to speak? I guess kind of to wrap this up, like a little bit about just like the future of crypto in Latin America. How do you guys see it operating? Do you see it taking over fiat? Do you see it integrating with fiat?
Well, one thing that we found pleasantly surprising here in Panama is that they don't have a central bank.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's unique in the world.
It's unique in the world. So basically they use US dollars because US dollars is king, right? Because it's accepted almost anywhere and it's very easy. So it's easy as an American to come here because they just, it's US dollars, everything is one-to-one basically, and you have no problem showing up with some cash and paying for things. But also if you wrote a contract in Bitcoin or Dash, it has to be honored through the court system in Bitcoin or Dash. So it makes it a prime breeding ground, on top of which it's a melting pot. There's a lot of people coming, people can just show up, and we highly encourage people to come and innovate with cryptocurrencies here, because...
Well, you're talking about Panama specifically here.
I am.
Panama has all these advantages. It's basically a free market, particularly in finance. There's like 100 banks here. But this is the exception in Latin America.
Right.
Which is, I think, why Latin America is overall the fastest growing region for cryptocurrencies. And it has been for years.
Because of Panama?
No, because the rest of Latin America is not like Panama. Because they on average do not have strong currencies. They do not have open borders. They tend to have capital controls, and
so it's kind of like a vacuum, like this need for crypto is what's driving it in Venezuela and Argentina
and Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
And the people are very technologically savvy, and they're very open to learning new things, and there's a lot of entrepreneurship, I think, in Latin America, which is very encouraging. I love entrepreneurship in all forms, but it is also the attitude you need to adopt new technologies and work around systemic problems. Yeah,
that's really great. I also know, like, places like Myanmar, it seems like whenever you have this like combination of a repressive government, unstable currency, and then just people that don't trust the banking system, it's kind of like ripe for crypto to step in and crypto entrepreneurs to come in and help a lot of people and maybe make a lot of money in the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I look forward to doing a follow-up in 6 months or so and just seeing where this has gone. And good luck to you guys.
Next time in Bogastown, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Great. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.